Really? What are the Warriors doing? I cannot be the only Warriors fan with these thoughts right now. And obviously, I don't want to beat the dead horse that we lost out on LeBron James, but the night before that he decided to go to the Philadelphia 76ers, there was a tweet by Slater that covers the Warriors for ESPN. And I think I mentioned this before, is that they said if we lost out on LeBron, that we were going to give Draymond Green a big payday. Why would you do that if you are trying to prolong the possible success for Steph Curry in his final years to keep him competitive? Why wouldn't you do that? Because giving Draymond Green a payday is not going to do it. You know, he opted out of his contract to give the Warriors, room to wiggle and everything. And if we got LeBron, we're going to give him basically what he got with the 76ers, like a $4 million like minimum contract. So you're telling me no one else will accept that? Like, Draymond is not someone we can invest in anymore. Yeah, give him like the minimal, like, extension to keep him around. Yeah, I guess. But we just can't invest in him long term. And I just look at the Warriors front office and it's like you can see them kind of out with him. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, let's invest in him. And they've been really quiet. And it's like, so what are we doing? And all I see is the possibility of, hey, we're going to get Gary Payton the third back. What does that do? Granted, he's a real good role player that, everybody, Warriors fans, love. But how's he going to get us over the marker or just be kind of in contention or competitive? Because like I said before, last year was like watching a JV team. It's like you were just really looking to see, oh, could Porzingis like do anything in the last couple games? Is Horford gonna die out? Is Guy Santos gonna, kind of like grow? Who else? Podemski, is he gonna ever get consistent? And we still got those questions going into this year. So by we're gonna extend Draymond, but if we give him like, what was he gonna get? I think he was gonna get like 27 before he opted out. If we give him like a 2-year deal, something like that, we're just not investing for the future, in my opinion. Um, and we got the Steph Curry extension coming up, and obviously he deserves that, but we're just kind of out of money. And like we can't do that for Draymond. So like there's still like good free agents out there, but we got to be smart. You know, one I like out there is DeMar DeRozan. He would probably be at least like a 15 point a game type guy that would really help, take the leverage off, or the weight off, Steph and Draymond's shoulders. And I said before, like, why not see if there's any connection with maybe bringing back Klay Thompson? Even though I just seen that, the Miami Heat are making him their top priority since losing out on LeBron. So there's other guys, maybe a Russell Westbrook, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to take a pay cut or anything like that. That's just my opinion. But I just don't know what we are doing. It's like, did we just kind of drop the ball on Steph's twilight? You know? Like, cause I don't know if it is a rumor that he's gonna hold out until August 29th instead of extending right away to put pressure on the front office to go after some guys. And if he's doing that, I think that's the smart thing to do. Because who else could they go after? It's just there's not a lot out there. And then we were rumored to get after that Croatian star. Um, I forget his name. It's like Head Goza or something. But today he just signed with the Cleveland Cavs. So that means, the Cavs were going after Kaminga. So Kaminga is now rumored to be now interested at actually going to the Lakers. So, and we're not going to, I can't see us trying to get Kaminga back. I don't think he wants to come back here as long as Steve Kerr is here. But like we're out of options. And if we run back this team, it's just gonna look ugly. And I gotta say, it's not gonna be interesting to watch. Like, if something happens to Curry this year, I could see Chase Center being empty. But I just another thing is like, you know, the Warriors were pessimistic. They said about LeBron. Then why do we seem so unready to do anything? Like, I think we got to do away with some of those picks. I had a video last week about Trey Murphy, and why aren't we going after him? Give New Orleans a few picks for him. We need something to help Steph, and instead of trying to do something, it's like we're doing nothing. I know you're saying, well, hey, we re-signed Porzingis, re-signed Al Horford, and stuff like that, but it's not enough, man. And the last thing you want is you do not want Steph to request a trade. That's how you know it's real bad because I can't see him doing that, but you're going to try to avoid that at all costs. He wants to be competitive. And I know you look at like Kobe, the Lakers sucked his last couple of years, but you got to do something for Steph. And I just don't know what options there are out there anymore. And it's like, do you just try to hold up the fort until Jimmy gets back, hopefully later in the season? I, that sounds good on paper, but I don't think that's what you want to do. And so now is this Warrior season riding on the growth of Yaxel Lendenborg? Is that what it is? How he's doing, working with Steph, working with Draymond. I'm just as a fan, as someone that, is very invested in the Golden State Warriors, I just don't know what direction that they're really going in. It's like they got one foot in, one foot out. One with let's maximize Steph's career in the last 2 or 3 years he's got. Or on the other second, they're like, hey, we really want to start building for the post Steph era. I'm at the point where it's like, pick one. Like, Steph knows what's going on. Like, he's not just going to be like Draymond, just be a negative, person about it and feel threatened. Like, he knows. I mean, even at the trade deadline last year, he was like, don't break up the young core. Like, you don't need to do that for me. So I think he sees the writing on the wall, but you got to help him out, man. If you just don't do nothing, it's going to be ugly basketball, ugly attendance, and overall, it's going to be a sucky situation. And it's just not what the Warriors fans want to see. And we're just looking for a little action. So, you know, to end this out, don't go overboard with Draymond's extension, please, so we can maybe make some kind of other small move. Try to maximize Steph's time here in Golden State. Hopefully, he's going to end his career here if the front office does something. And is the future of this year and possibly next year just really depending on the outcome and the growth of Yaxel Lendenborg, which is not such a bad thing, but I think Steph wants more. But that's just kind of where I'm leaning with this. I just have no idea what the Warriors are doing. I wish they would give us some insight. But let me know what you think in the comments. Drop your opinion. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This has been the Authentic Take. I'm out.